Rick is the general manager of the Washington spoke of Wisper Internet, Wisper without the H. And that is a new player, an old player in the internet service provider business out here in Franklin County. And good morning, Rick. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Welcome. I appreciate the time.
So tell me a little bit about now. Wisper Internet is one of a series of different evolutions that have happened in the internet service provider in the Franklin County area, and you've been at it from early. Rick, tell me a little bit about the history of Wisper, the history of YHTI, and the history of you.
Well, the history of me is that we started original internet provider back in the old DialUp days, if you remember that, back in the mid 90s. And that internet provider did turn into YHTI Internet in the early 2000s. Given the evolution of the internet industry and going from needing just regular dial-up internet, and as more and more people got on, broadband obviously became a big thing. Hence, myself as YHTI and Wisper Internet started in the wireless industry to help serve communities that couldn't be served by other wireline services. So. Yeah, my history goes back to back to the mid '90s here in Franklin County and serving the county, which the whole desire was to actually get people internet that couldn't get internet, and so that's where the wireless came in. And Wisper started in 2006 in Muscogee, Illinois, or actually I guess more or less. O'Fallon, Illinois, but now their headquarters is in Muscogee, Illinois. So, we both grew in the wireless industry together over the years. I had met the CEO of Wisper back in the mid 2000s. We had a mutual customer that needed help, so I had actually had a prior relationship with him before our merger back in 2018. So. And the whole idea of merging together was to actually do the expansions that we're trying to do right now and collaborate together on it, and hopefully build a nice big network that'll serve not only Franklin County but other communities. But that's kind of the history behind Wisper and YHTI.
So your roots go back to the dial-up days. Would you have imagined in the 90s when you were first getting started in this whole industry in this area that it would become to the point now that it is literally a utility, something that is not seen as a luxury, but as an absolute need? Would you have ever imagined how much it would grow?
Not as rapidly as it did, no. Back when we started as dial-up, I mean, it was a fun toy. It was a community sharing ideas and, just sharing information. That was the whole point of it. You kind of got an idea back in the .com days that it might do something like this, but how rapidly and where it went, I don't think anybody saw that coming. And then obviously, fast forward to, a couple of years ago, we have a pandemic, and now you're right. I mean, we were talking about it before we went on air. I mean, what became a luxury is now a necessity.
An absolute necessity. And now the Connect America Fund actually came out, you got funding announced in March of 2019. So
Correct.
That was even before the pandemic. Now, of course, it's been since accelerated. Tell me a little bit about, they're called Connect America Fund, CAF. Tell me a little bit about the CAF expansion, when that was announced, and where you are a little less than 3 years later.
Yeah, the Connect America Fund is a broadband program from the federal government designed to get internet to rural communities and those that were missed on previous broadband expansion projects. We'd actually applied for one back in the mid 2000s and came really just short. So another reason for merging with Wisper is they had more resources and a little bit more backing to be able to get this grant. And so that basically we've been working on it since about 2018. And then, as you said, the expansion was announced in 2019. And basically for Franklin County, the Connect America Fund that we got was actually throughout the Midwest, anywhere from South Central Illinois all the way to through Missouri through eastern Kansas and Oklahoma and parts of Arkansas and Indiana. But Missouri was the biggest winner of the bunch, and ironically, the county I live in, Franklin County, was the biggest award winner. Will receive almost $11 million. We were the largest county, and so we're going to be covering at least 9,200 households, and hopefully, as we grow, the idea being is that as we build the new towers out and cover those households that the Connect America Fund was wanting us to cover, we can cover hopefully a lot more than that and help a lot of people.
So where have you put this new technology?
Well, a lot of the
towers.
Yeah, the towers. Just a little bit of background. We specialize right now at doing, and part of the expansion is in wireless internet. It's a fixed base wireless. A little different than satellite internet. Goes a lot faster, and with the newer technology we've been doing, we can do quite a bit more speeds than we used to in the past. Anywhere from 100 to 200 megabits per second, and even faster as we get more expansion and get some of the newer equipment about. So we're going to be even faster than that. So, but some of the new towers that we have up, we've threw up 7 towers just in September alone. In Union, out off Nair Road, in Gerald, Beaufort, St. Clair, Sullivan, and in Robertsville. And looking, we did in December, we got managed to squeeze 2 more in Catawissa and Pacific before the end of the year. So that is on top of the towers that were my legacy towers that were in New Haven, Marthasville and Villa Ridge, Leslie, and then our flagship tower that's actually just outside of Washington off of Highway BB.
So you have these various towers, and now explain as simply as you can what the difference is. Satellite is what I know a lot of people have tried to do, is satellite internet. That, of course, has come from satellites. Those are in space. How does this kind of internet differ?
This is a lot different, actually, because of the distance that the satellite has to travel. Obviously, it's got to get from space and back down here. The latency is quite a bit longer. Well, and latency, what I mean, the time it takes for information to get back and forth is about 10 times longer than it does with the equipment we use. All this new wireless technology, it's almost, in fact, some of our equipment is called air fiber that we use. But the idea being is that, a lot of the speeds that we can do right now, almost equivalent of a fiber-like system, only it's done with wireless and different wireless frequencies. And the idea being, because we use towers that are located in different locations here around the area, we can take those wireless connections and directly connect them to fiber, and then it goes out to the internet from there. So, yeah, no, it's quite a bit of an advancement from where we were in the past, and it's only getting bigger.
Well, and you're looking at 100 meg. Like, I have to say, in our household, there's probably at least half of what we watch on TV, at least half of it, is coming through some kind of internet streaming service.
Yes.
Right? It's coming through the Roku, it's coming through Amazon Prime or Netflix or anything else. When you are talking about 100 megs, 200 megs, in terms of actual uses, and if you could get that fast, what does that enable a household to do at 100 megs or 200 megs?
Oh, well, I mean, really, at those kind of speeds, and unless you have a large family, you pretty much could do anything you want. I mean, the average high-definition video stream uses about 3 to 5 megabits per second. If you're looking at, a standard high definition. So you imagine, you had 3 TVs running in the house, chew up about, 15, 20 megabits of the 100 meg. That still leaves you plenty to do schoolwork, whatever you need to do, homework, shopping, whatever it is. And the only difference would be, obviously anybody who subscribes to Disney Plus knows that the 4K stream there can use up quite a bit. They use about 20, 25 megs. So that's where those 100 meg packages come in, is that, so even if you want to do something like a Disney Plus stream, which I know is very popular out there, you'll still have plenty of bandwidth left over to do anything else you would ever need. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking back and remembering those dial-up days when you'd have teenagers in the house and then they'd get on the internet like, I need to use the phone.
Yeah.
Get off the internet. I need to use the phone. How much it has changed. But now, you got kids hogging the bandwidth. So I guess but you have a whole range of packages at various different price points. What is the range of services that you have as far as just speed?
Oh, yeah. Really, we're trying to get standardized at 25 megabits is going to be the lowest package we're going to get to. We're still working on doing upgrades in certain areas to get to that. So we do still have some packages smaller than that, but the idea being is that 25 megabits per second on the download at the lowest speed, and then 50 megs, and then 100 megs, 200 megs, and I think eventually they'll even get higher than that. So right now, I think the 200 meg packages is the highest we got at the moment, and that is dependent upon the area right now. But that is soon hopefully going to be available everywhere that we're putting towers. So that's the idea behind that, and there are different price points to those packages, anywhere from $50, $65, up to about $100, $120 a month, depending upon the package. So they do vary in size and what you can do. It's all unlimited, though. I do want to stress that. There are no data caps like the hotspots or anything of that nature. So, yes, it is all going to be unlimited for everybody. So
you have a lot of experience actually launching this stuff. I'm just looking at what you've done through Wisper in the last 4 months.
Yeah, and it's been a challenge. New equipment, a lot of learning because a lot of the technology we are using is state of the art. It's never been used before, so we are learning as we go, learning a lot. But we have a lot of people with a lot of experience. All of us that are with Wisper, even myself, and then we've had a couple other acquisitions that we've done since I've enjoyed it, and all of them come with a lot of wireless experience. So we do have a lot of experience when it comes to launching these towers and getting them up and going, and making sure that the speeds we get can actually hold and do what they need to do. So
now the other thing that I think is really nice, so you're the Washington Spoke general manager, which I guess means you're well spoken. No, well, it means that as well, right, Rick? But that means what? What is the Washington Spoke?
Well, we do have different areas that we serve, and obviously it is hard to service Joplin, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, and all the other rural areas like the Ozarks, Sedalia, and all those areas from one location, right? So we do have different areas and what we call spokes, which we have home offices in. So the idea being is, not to give up the history of, YHTI, Wisper, and all of us internet providers that have, paved the way to do all this, is that we do want to make sure everybody knows they can come talk to us, try to keep the hometown feel as best possible. And so we do have offices in several locations, in Joplin, Missouri, Osage Beach, Missouri for the Lake of the Ozarks area, Smithton, Missouri, and then Muscoda, Illinois, of course, is our where the hub or headquarters is at. And then, of course, here in Washington, Missouri, we're one of the main locations. So this is where we operate out of. We're going to keep operating out of here. And so, that's why we want to be able to stay local and be able to helpful to everybody.
And that's a big deal. I mean, not only are you in this county and in this state, but you're in this country, which is, when you're dealing with people in something as vital as internet, and be it for business or residential, either one, that is something that, the more close to home you are, the better off you are. And finally, I wanted to talk as well about the Lifeline and the emergency broadband benefit, these programs that, recognizing just how, one of the things I've talked about a lot on this program is, okay, people that don't have internet out here, why? One might be location, and where your towers are help solve that. The other might be they can't afford it, or maybe it was both. But for folks that the internet expense could be really difficult, there are some resources available. Tell me just briefly about those programs.
Yeah, the Lifeline and EBB program, as you stated, is for people that are struggling, need some help and assistance if they can't, manage to get what they need to get. Those programs are available. That they'll give a discount on the internet fees, so they will actually be able to get them for less than full price. And so those programs are available. And you can go to our website, wisperisp.com, without the H, WISPERISP.com, and we have more information on the website for you.
All right. And also looking for folks. You're looking for people.
Yes. Yeah. I can tell you that, I'll draw back to, trying to keep it local is that, not only myself, but all the guys that were originally with YHTI are still employed with the company. So that local feel is still there. So the same guys you talk to, plus, we do have additional people that we have hired along the way, and we're still hiring. So if you look out there on Indeed and a lot of the other job websites, we have openings out there. And just do a search for Wisper Internet, and you'll find the job opportunities out there. But yeah, we are currently hiring. We got several openings out there. I know I've got at least one opening left in this area, and we're getting ready to start our hiring program for 2022. All
right. Well, thank you so much, Rick Becker. He is the general manager of the Washington Spoke of Wisper Internet, without the H. Their website, wisperisp.com. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
And thank you for having me, Diana. I appreciate it.
All right.